Welcome back to the show. The contest that you know and love is back and hotter than ever.
That's right. New categories, new stakes, and new winners. Help vote for your Northern Michigan favorites. It is the top of the 2025 Red Hot Best Awards. Here with us to discuss the contest, My North's Cara McDonald is joining us. Hi, Cara. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning.
All right, so I know this is a big tradition, and a lot of businesses love being a part of this. You see their awards, in the entryways all over the place.
They like Michael Stevens' office.
Yeah, there's like 11 of them like there. But they just love being honored in this way. It's a really fun tradition, not only for the magazine, but for the community. Talk to us about how it all started.
It was just a way for us to really get that community discourse and that voice. We give a lot of information, and you know how we live our jobs. Right. We are constantly out in the community, and we think we know what we know, but we know that our viewership and our audience knows a tremendous amount, and they've got great intel to share, and businesses and ideas they want to uplift and support. So this is a great opportunity to do that, and it gets kind of heated. It's kind of good.
Well, that's why it's red hot.
That's right. That's right.
Ba-doom. You're welcome. Now, one of the most exciting parts of this process is hearing about the new categories that are coming every year because they're unique, they're creative, and they're a fun way to explore things that you, as a community member, might not have up until this point. So what are some of the new categories we got this year?
So every year our categories shift just a little bit. There's always going to be the staples and the favorites, and if somebody took away like best coffee shop, I would die inside. That is my love language.
Or the happy hour. I need to know where best happy hours are.
That's right. But we did introduce. Here's for fighting. We threw in best pizza this year.
Oh,
right?
Man.
Okay.
No.
So we like to get a category where there's some juice, where there's some, but also where people can get some consensus. So categories can't be so specific that we can't get agreement.
Yeah.
So we do like to shift it up. We've got food truck as a new category this year, because that's really growing.
That is.
And you do need help finding those things. And that's what's so cool about Red Hot Best. And, even though this is my job, when this comes out in the June issue, I will carry a printed copy of this with me in my car, so I am never without a coffee shop.
There it is.
But it makes me feel smart.
Need that reference,
Right, and there's 7 regions, so when you vote, you don't just vote for, Traverse City's going to get all the votes because they have a lot of population, or Cadillac's going to carry a bunch of votes. There's 7 regions, so that every region gets to have a voice and a chance, but also for that community to share their expertise.
So important.
How do you decide on those categories? Because I know, it's not just restaurants or favorite hair salon. We've seen things like best scenic view of the beach and best sunsets. How do you decide? Or do you get a lot of those suggestions year after year that maybe you would incorporate?
We do. We do hear from our audience and our businesses and our readers and our viewers, and they give us feedback and ideas. We also look at the voting patterns, so we see where the interest is, and if a category is kind of starting to slow down, we'll maybe pull it out for a couple years and see, and then bring it back in. So sometimes there's categories that people are like, wait, I don't see this year, what happened? And we'll say, we rotate so that we can make sure that coverage is well-rounded and that we get a chance, because we have a tremendous amount of territory to cover, and businesses and people and places to mention, so we like to rotate.
So what's the timeline of this process? How long now? It's nomination time.
That's right.
Okay.
Right now, just open, and we always get emails like, "When's it open? When's it open?" Right now, the nomination ballot is open, so that nomination form is on mynorth.com, or also you can follow us on social media, and it'll link to that space, so you can get in there and make the nomination within those set categories. And that's a 2-week period that you can get in there and make sure your favorite pick is represented. Then we'll close that down, we'll regroup, and we'll repost the final ballot on March 3rd. And that is where the top 10 finalists can then be voted on. So we're right here at the very beginning. This is where, if you want to get your favorite place for breakfast, or your best burger, or your primary care physician or therapist, teachers we honor, you go ahead and get them on the ballot right now.
That's so fun.
It is.
I'm curious. I've been wanting to know if this is all done by computer now in terms of tallying these votes. Do you guys sit around a darkened room with your coffee by candlelight? How does the tallying process work here?
Okay,
candlelight's important.
The coffee's sorry. So back in the day, I remember being at Traverse magazine when we had paper ballots, and they were tallied by hand. So and thousands of them. So no, we no longer do that. We do employ a software system. It's all very state of the art, and you can get in there and vote. You can nominate and vote once a day, every day during the window, but that is all covered by our friends in IT. So
that reminds me too. How does those? I mean, is it all like just write-in ballots at this point for the nominations?
They're
and if you get
yes.
like different spellings of
Oh,
Bill
that's
Fralick
where,
with an E and not with an O, and
that's where the dark room comes in.
Okay.
So we do actually have to go through and sift and sort and be like, oh, that they're trying to say what that is, and we will go ahead and match those nominations and make sure they make it into the right name and category.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Now, what are the, for lack of a better way of putting it, zones? What zones are there that can be voted on?
I hope I get all of these right, but there's 7. So just to give you an idea of the range of the zones.
Of course. Oh, look, there they are right there, everybody.
Thank you, B-roll. Okay, so yeah, there you see. So Traverse City does have its own zone, but then we make sure we cover our friends up in Petoskey and the Straits area, Ludington, Manistee, Cadillac, the
Kalkaska,
heart of the
Galen,
North,
Grayling,
right?
Yep.
Kalkaska, Galen, Grayling. Yeah, so that way we make sure that those places with a smaller voting population have an equal shot at getting their choices celebrated.
Because that's important. That's so important to make sure everyone gets a voice in this.
That's why we do it. It's a great, more than ever, there's so much noise and information out there, but to have local community dialogue like this, local info, expert advice, that is really, I think, what we're all about here. So.
And it's a fun contest
It
too,
is.
for sure.
It
is.
All right, final few seconds. Just repeat for us the timeline for nominations and then when the final top 10 voting.
So February 3rd, nominations begin. March 3rd, your final voting will begin. And each of those is about a 2-week window.
And when do we hear our Red Hot Best?
This is excellent. You're going to, subscribers will get it first in the June issue of the magazine, which will come out right before Memorial Day. We will have those winners. They will be shared sporadically throughout the summer, so the entirety of the list is in Traverse Northern Michigan magazine, and you can go ahead and find out more about that on mynorth.com, or you can pick it up locally at our bookstores and Tom's and Olson's markets, things like that.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Cara.
It's good to see you guys.
Thanks for making